Chapter 4. The Age of Industrialization Points to Remember. The Age of Industrialization, coming up of factories. Before the Industrial Revolution, proto-industrialization, not based on factories. Production was controlled by guilds. Things were produced by peasants and artisans in the countryside. A close relationship between towns and countryside. Industrialization in Europe, especially Britain, the coming up of factories. The pace of industrial change. Hand labor and steam power. Life of the workers in England. Industrialization in colonies, example India. The age of Indian textiles. Condition of Indian weavers, 18th century. Factories come up in India. Peculiarities of industrial growth in India. Market for goods. The coming up of factory. The earliest factories in the world came up in England in 1730. First symbol of this new era was cotton. Factors that made it possible, series of inventions and changes within the process of production. All the processes of production were brought under one roof and management. The pace of industrial change. Industrialization does not mean only the growth of factory or industries. Cotton and metal industries were changed rapidly and were the most dynamic industries in Britain. Cotton was the leading sector in the first phase, till 1840. Iron and steel industries grew rapidly with the expansion of railways in England from 1840 and from 1860 in colonies. New industries, however, could not easily displace the existing traditional industries. By the end of 19th century, less than 20% of total workforce was employed in the industrial sector. Other traditional industries were much less influenced by the steam-powered or metal industries. However, they did not remain stagnant either. Ordinary and small innovations were the basis of growth in many non-mechanized sectors. Hand labor and steam power. In Victorian Britain, there was no shortage of human labor, so wages were low. A range of products could be produced only with hand labor. Machines produced goods for a mass market. Industrialists did not want to introduce machines that got rid of human labor and required large capital investment. Demand in the market was often for goods with intricate designs and specific shapes which could be produced by hand only. Life of the workers in England. Overall, the life of workers was miserable during the Industrial Revolution. There was scarcity of jobs because there was an abundance of labor in the market. The chances of getting a job depended largely on networks of friendship and kin relations. Most of the work was seasonal, so workers often faced long periods without employment. Real wages fell, which increased poverty among workers. Fear of unemployment made workers hostile towards new technology, and many machines were attacked by workers. After the 1840, employment opportunities increased due to building activities, widening of roads, digging of tunnels, laying of drainage and sewer systems. Industrialization in the colonies. The age of Indian textiles. Before the age of machine industries, silk and cotton goods from India dominated the international market. Finer varieties came from India. Armenian and Persian merchants took the goods from India to Afghanistan, Persia and Central Asia. Surat, Masulipatam and Hooghly were the famous ports. A variety of Indian merchants and bankers were involved in this network of export trade. Two types of merchants, supply merchants and export merchants. At the ports, the big shippers and export merchants had brokers who negotiated the price and bought goods from the supply merchants. After the age of machine industries, 1750 onwards. By 1750, the trade network controlled by Indian merchants was breaking down. The European companies gained power. Decline of old ports of Surat and Hooghly. Bombay and Calcutta grew as new ports. New trade was controlled by European companies and carried in European ships. No decline in textile exports from India initially. Indian textiles were still in great demand in 18th century Europe. What happened to weavers with the coming of European trading companies? Before establishing political control by East India Company, the weavers were in a better position as there were many buyers for their products, so they could bargain and try selling the produce to the best buyer. After establishing political control by East India Company, 1760s onwards, East India Company established its monopoly over Indian trade. The existing traders and brokers were eliminated and direct control over the weaver was established. Weavers were prevented from dealing with other buyers. A paid servant Gomasta was appointed to supervise weavers. Reports of clashes between Gomastas and weavers. The price weavers received from the company was miserably low. Manchester comes to India, British goods, new set of problems faced by cotton weavers by the turn of the 19th century. Beginning of 19th century, a long decline of textile exports from India. Cotton industries developed in England. Duties were imposed on imported textiles. British textile was sold in Indian markets as well. Problems for Indian weavers, export market collapsed, local market shrank, non-availability of good quality raw cotton, forced to buy cotton at high rate. By the end of 19th century, factories in India began production, flooding the market with machine goods. Coming up of factories in India, 19th century. Early factories. First cotton mill in Bombay in 1854. First jute mill in Bengal in 1855. Elgin mill started in Kanpur in the 1860. In 1874 the first spinning and weaving mill of Madras was set up. Early entrepreneurs. They were people involved in trade with China. For example, in Bengal Dwarkanath Tagore set up 6 joint stock companies in the 1830 and 1840. In Bombay, Dinshaw Petty and J. N. Tata. Seth Hukumchand in Calcutta set up the first jute mill. G. D. Birla did the same. Merchants from Madras traded with Burma, the Middle East and East Africa. Other commercial groups traded within India. Condition of the Indian workers. Most of the mill workers were temporarily employed and returned to their villages during harvests. Jobbers often controlled the lives of workers. Early workers. Workers mainly came from the districts around. Mainly peasants and workers who found no work in rural India. For example, in Bombay cotton industries workers came from Ratnagiri district. The peculiarities of industrial growth. European managing agencies, which dominated industrial production, were interested in producing only those goods which were required for export trade and not for sale in India. For example, tea, coffee, indigo, jute, mining. Indian businessmen set up those industries, in late 19th century, which would not compete with Manchester goods. For example, yarn was not imported so early cotton mills produced yarn rather than fabric. In the first decade of the 20th century the pattern of industrialization changed. Swadeshi movement, 1905, mobilized people to boycott foreign cloths so textile production began in India. Moreover, yarn export to China declined so industrialists shifted from yarn to cloth production. Cotton piece goods production doubled between 1900 and 1912. First World War gave a boost to industrial production in India. New factories were set up in India as British mills were busy with war production. Small-scale industries predominate. Even after the growth of factories, very few industrial centers located mainly in Bengal and Bombay. Only a small proportion of the total industrial labor worked in factories. 5% in 1911 and 10% in 1931. Rest worked in small workshops and household units. Series of inventions improved the technique of production in handloom sector and handloom cloth production expanded steadily. One such invention was fly shuttle. Some specialized weaves could not be produced by mills so they were continued to be produced by weavers. For example, saris with woven borders, lungis and handkerchief of Madras. Some groups of weavers survived the competition with mill industries better than others, for example weavers weaving finer variety of clothes because demand for these goods did not fluctuate even during bad harvest years. Ways to create market for goods advertisements. Image of baby Krishna was used to popularize his baby product. Images of Indian gods and goddesses were used to develop local connection with the people. Calendars. Calendars were used to popularize his products even among those who could not read newspapers and magazines. Labels. Indian manufacturers gave nationalist message through their advertisements. If you care for the nation then buy products made in India. Newspapers or magazines, producers from Manchester used label, made in Manchester, as a market quality.